I'm excited to be sharing with you some recordings from our beta, and this is what our customers are experiencing today, those customers that we have on the pilot. So this is the self-assessment center, and as you can see, it's a very clean and simple experience where the customer or the accountant, if they come in from QBOA, they might see three things. First of all, what they need to complete next. That's what we call the to-do module. On the right-hand side, you have the tax estimate, which may be triggered. Again, those estimates that can be called throughout the tax year. And then you have the tax timeline. And the tax timeline gives the opportunity for the customer to view those events of the tax year and ensure that they know what they've completed and what will be coming next. And here you may have quarterly updates, and then you might also see when you need to make payments. It's important to know that payments are not changed or through the ITSA mandate, which means that customers will continue to pay to HMRC the way they do it right now, with 2 payments and then a final balancing payment. Now let's imagine that we're about to send a quarterly update. So the first thing that you'll notice when it's due, a quarterly update is due, is that the to-do module on the top changes to tell you that you're meant to be doing that quarterly update. So you can see there that it says it's time to send your 22-23 quarterly update, and it's due 5th of August 2022. Obviously, this is a couple of years old recording, but the experience remains the same. I also wanted to call out the attention on the right-hand side. There is an estimated calculation from the 17th of June, in this case, from this customer. This customer sent an update before the obligation period. They wanted to get an estimate of how much they would owe based on the income at that specific point in time. That update wasn't meeting the obligation. They might still send one update during the 1 month period that follows the end of the quarter. So let's look at what that looks like. So if I go and click on Prepare Update, that will open the prepare page, which basically gives you access to 2 things. First of all, a view of what information has previously shared with HMRC, and then what is actually new. So that gray and magenta graph shows you what was sent to HMRC in that 17th of June update versus what is actually new. And I think this is a very important concept with MTD ITSA next. And we were one of the first to implement this logic, which is quarterly updates will make it very, very simple to send updates to previously submitted income. If, for example, your customer has made a mistake, or there was an invoice that was missed, or an expense that came late, next time you send a quarterly update or any type of update, the totals will be resubmitted if required, which will make your experience of keeping those records up to date simpler, rather than having to go quarter by quarter, identifying in each of the changes and then sending those to HMRC. It's important to know that obviously you will be able to see the detailed reports underneath each of those self-assessment categories. We do an automatic mapping between the chart of accounts into the self-assessment categories by quarter and retrieve those based on the dates of the obligations. And then you'll be able to see the total figures and the transactions that sit behind them. Once you've reviewed everything and you're ready to submit, you can close this. You can export a CSV if you want to and share that with your client as well. And then you will click Next, and this will provide you a final review of your profit loss, income, and expenses, and the dates that are included in that update. And then that's next final step is just confirm. So if you click on Confirm and Send, this will send the information to HMRC. HMRC will confirm that they've received the data, and then the obligation. Now you can see that it's marked as done, so you're all up to date. And then you can also see that there's a calculation that triggered on the right-hand side.